In this video, I want to talk about a couple of things. The main thing is recycling. The second main thing is a book I'm working on called The Inheritance. And it started as lists of things. I don't know how far it will expand. But it's all about when you lose someone, it's not really what they gave you before. In my case, my father gave me a 1591. My mother's, all her knitting patterns are here. But it's what you end up with. Everybody has their good intentions, but it's what you really end up with. Now, I have siblings, and none of them were interested in my dad's movie collection or the music collection. We split up the albums, but there are 8 tracks, cassettes, CDs, more albums. And there were about 11 boxes of VHS movies. Wonderful collection, actually. And it's been, one of my siblings called it a conundrum because VHS is not used anymore. So, you know, there's been a lot of emotional upheaval about it, but the upshot has been I have made lists to begin with my book. I have made lists of everything that I ended up with that was my father's. And then I started to find good places for the VHS movies to go to. I do have a VCR. It's difficult to make copies unless you buy a DVD writer VCR combination where you can copy them onto DVD. A lot of his movies, he has a wonderful collection. 1940 John Wayne movies in black and white. He made a point, I think, to get every John Wayne movie that John Wayne ever was in. So, hard to find movies, and it's a shame that I can't just put them on DVD easily. There's expense. Here's another example, Teacher's Pet by Doris Day, with Doris Day and Clark Gable. I can buy the movie on DVD for like $7. And I would have to pay at least that to buy blank DVDs and cases. So, you know, you're faced with some realities when you're left with things that you think can't go any further. So anyway, I bit the bullet one day. I came across a recycling website, and they said, oh, you can knit with it. And any of you that know what a knitter I am, my chin hit the floor, and I went, what? And it felt like a moral, whoa, 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 I won't do that, for about 3 days. And I took one video apart. They don't just break apart. You have to have a little Phillips screwdriver. There are 5 screws in each VHS tape. And then what I did with this is one tape. This is what's left of what I didn't do that with. This is what it looks like. I actually need black yarn. I'm working on my car accident. I need black for roads. And, you know, like woven black roads. But what I did with this was loosen it loosely to make bulky yarn. Look at this. It is the most wonderful, soft, squishy yarn. And I had come across a website years ago where people in some country cut up plastic bags in order to get this kind of fabric to make mats for the homeless. And I was like, well, Dad, what do you think I should do with your movies? So this was my moral test. I passed it. My father enjoyed those movies. And everybody in the world can continue to enjoy those movies because they are on other formats. So I just want to tell you a couple of things. If you use VHS, 8-track, or cassette tape for yarn, this is VHS. You cannot make a tight rope out of it. I was going to loosen it on a small lucite. I thought, this will be wonderful plastic rope. It breaks. I pull my tight rope very tightly, and it doesn't hold up to that. This is loosely lucided into a bulky yarn on this lucid, which fell from a tree. But I think that for most people, a crochet hook or needle knitting are the two best ways to use this kind of yarn. It's something for you to think about. Well, my siblings, the boxes got split up. What I have now is about 250 movies. And I've copied a few of them. I've made audio tapes of some of them, like an audiobook, listening to the movie. But now, instead of them going to the landfill, can I actually use them for something? So everybody's family is going to be different. Everybody's sentimentality is going to be different. Is it morally wrong to take my father's favorite movies and make them into yarn? I don't think so, because I'd probably be making tote bags for veterans or something, or shopping, grocery shopping bags, where I can knit this up into a shopping bag fairly quickly. And my father loved doing his own grocery shopping, and was very insistent about being that independent. So the reason I don't have a problem with using this is, like I said, I made a list of everything he had, which is going to be a book called The Inheritance. You can probably do something similar. I think just listing them is good enough. If you feel you need to remember what they had, what they did. My father loved movies, made some tapes himself, but more or less had this movie collection of old VHS tapes. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful old collection that maybe needs a new purpose. So if you come across, there are only a few websites that talk about VHS tape being recycled. We're kind of past the days when most thrift stores would take them for sale. I have found an outlet that will take them. Took some searching, and that is still an option, but you know, it's very morally balancing to have the other option from giving them to a thrift store so people can use them. The other option is making things for veterans out of them, or children. You could knit this loosely on large, like size 19 needles, and make a kid's play mat, a beach mat that you take to the beach, a windshield cover for the car. What was the other thing? I've thought of all kinds of things that you can make with this, because it's plastic. And it saves the planet, it helps the planet. My father's moments of watching the movies are ended, but what he used for that enjoyment can go on and help other people. Recycle VHS, 8-track, and cassette tapes.